Hey, how you guys doing? Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, we're doing the Wesley So Caddies Marathon. This is game 12 in the series. So this is Vladimir Kramnik is white, and Wesley So is black. Vladimir, usually when players do C4, they're going for the knockout. They're going to try to go for basically the kill if they can. E6, knight C3, and then D5. Bishop. See there's a line that goes here. This is actually kind of the line that is normally played. Then if that's played, then you intercept there. There's bishop takes, takes, pawn takes, pawn takes, and then black castles. And it's something similar to this line. Then the bishop comes, and then potentially you can go c5 later on. Our knight. I've seen this is kind of what also could be played, but then he takes, and you kind of have a majority on the queen side. So, but he has a huge majority on the king side. So, pretty interesting play for sure. So d4, bishop e, takes, takes, f, bishop f5, bishop f4, c6. So kind of it's the queen's gambit declined. That's interesting. Transposed from the English to the queen's gambit declined. See how openings can actually transpose into certain different openings. So don't always think that one opening stays the same. E3, because now Vlad has his bishop outside the pawn chain. Wesley plays bishop f5, which is actually the correct move and the best for his position. G6 was played, which actually isn't the best. E6. It was kind of a hyper move. If he was going to do that, he should have played h4. And then queen, and then now you start pouring on the pressure, but a little too hyper for me. So bishop was there. And then the queen could actually slide in here after that, something like that. So b6, f4, f3. G5 was played, which I don't know if that was the best. I kind of like the computer's line of the knight coming. I like this move here rather than G5. I understand Wesley's idea though is that he wants to put a question to this bishop, but king safety is important as well. So I kind of would have potentially left shelter for my king maybe later on for castling. You don't have to castle right away, but it's just that's huge. He has to play there because it's forced. This move's forced, otherwise you lose the rook. So, and that's an okay move, but not the best. The computer's saying takes here is actually best because after takes, he can't castle queenside, so his king is stuck in the center. And if white wanted to, white could actually castle on the queen side and potentially go for onslaught, but it's kind of better for black at that point. So you just gotta be very cautious and smart on your move sequences. Queen takes, A takes, and so now these pawns are a weakness, so the B pawns. H takes, H5. G takes H, it rotates H. Now we're going to try to see if we can't get, so you got to be careful that you can't place a knight here because it could potentially be trapped with that. So be very careful. Hey! What's that? No, I haven't heard of that project. What's it about? One second. I just so later on maybe I can go over. So that's interesting. No, I haven't heard of that before. Wow. Let's just take a look real quick. Come on, why isn't my thing coming up? Let me write that down because that's interesting. Or what I could do is just I know what I'll do. So I'll just save it here. Come on. I want it saved. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Now I got. I'll put it over here. Now I got it. Thank you, Fox. Normal mode. Okay. I'll play on normal mode. Oh, cool. Well, I'll have to look into playing that. Yeah, we're right now we're going over Wesley So as black and Vladimir Kramnik as white. We're doing the So Marathon of the candidates tournament, and then what we're going to do is after that we're going to go to each candidate player, go through their games, all 14, and then we'll just go over them so that we kind of can get a glimpse of what they did, how they played too. And so we're on number 12 of Wesley So's candidates game. So we got two more, then we'll jump to Caruana. I gotta tell you that. Did you see that Caruana won that one tournament, the Greenwich? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, the Greenwich or whatever, something like that. Classic. Caruana won that one, so that was cool. Okay. D3, bishop D3. Anyway, and the cool thing was he was tired even, so and it's gonna be cool to see when he's full strength the kind of fighting power Caruana will have. It's gonna be a great world championship match. Yeah, the interesting thing was he won a whole point ahead of Magnus Carlsen, which was that was interesting. And I just can't wait to see what's going to happen when they do the World Championship when Caruana is at 100%. Knight King F7. It's going to be cool. So Vlad went H4. Uh-oh, come on, please don't lag on me. Okay, good. Come on, okay, H4. F5. F4. Okay, sweet. E takes F. Bishop takes. King F2. Bishop takes. Pawn takes. What would happen if he took here? Let's see. Oh, smack. He gets that back with total devastation. Ouch. That hurts. That hurts really bad there. E5. 97. So Wesley's playing the best moves, so far so good. And then the thing that was really puzzling is Vlad has actually 3 passers and Wesley still was able to pull. He had to sacrifice let's see, how many pawns does Vlad have? So for a piece Vlad got a 3 pawns, but the pawn that was considered like 3 on this side, actually let's see, he's got 4 here, so he's got 6. So for 2 pawns he traded for a light squared bishop. H5, King G8, Rook, and so Vlad's trying to get these pawns going down the board, but it's just like there's just too much defense, and it was like, wow. H6, Rook E8, and now potentially this holds here. G6, Rook takes, Knight takes, Rook slides over, and Bishop G5, that's big. If he can round this pawn up, he basically could have the game. Knight E6, takes, but now that everything's going to be traded off, it's going to end up a draw. 97. Knight takes bishop, pawn takes, Rook E8, and so this pawn's going to fall here. But first and foremost, you kind of want to have a double threat, so the idea is here and here. So 2 attacks. Rook G1 check. King F7. E6 check. King F6. Knight check. You can't take here, of course. You guys see why. Smack. Oh man, sad day at the office, and it's over. So he's got to keep moving up the board. F4 check. King D6. Now West's heading towards shelter, and this bishop still eyes here and prepares to take there. And then he's got Yes, it's an equal position. So g7, rook f. This is an interesting move. I like this move. I like this move a lot. It's like really forcing, but the problem, he has that, so you have to get your king, and then he goes there, and then so I guess you're still okay in that scenario. It's still equal. D check. He can't take here, because if he does smack, then it is a pure draw at that point. D4, E7, B4, and king f6, and now everything is basically, it holds. Everything holds. There's no way for these two pawns to reach paradise, as I would call it, which would be queening, because the king guards and the bishop guards here. So if that's tried, bishop takes, knight takes, and king takes. Okay, dokie. There we go. Alright, let's take a look at the game. Are you white? Oh, so she played the French. Oh, you did the Tarrasch variation. Usually the Tarrasch, though, is this. Kind of similar to this, and then something like that. Okay. Hold on, let me turn off. I'll just turn it off fully, disabling it. There we go. Nice, you have a lot of development here. Yeah, you're wanting to prevent that. That actually is a good idea. You don't really want that to be brought in. And later on you have b5 potential too, so, and then at that point b5 bishop can retreat back, and later on once this pawn falls you can actually have a majority on the queen side. So knight b5, so you're trying to round up the d pawn. Queen, okay. Yeah, e5, castle. So it's going to be interesting to see how the computer plays here. e1. So yeah, you're getting ready to take advantage of this long open diagonal. Oh, you're doing that. That's good too. Interesting. Takes, and then, oh, nice. So you're going after her center pawns. Okay. Yeah, you got a really good, yeah, better pawn structure. Yeah, you have an outposted knight. Basically, this knight isn't going anywhere. The one thing that could be tried is either A, these 2 points would be interesting for the bishop to go to. But it's kind of weird that they played that, that the computer played that. Huh, go figure. I know, it allowed you to set up for this attack here. And then you have G3, or potentially I mean, you can go bishop G3 and then start a huge onslaught. So that is very different for sure. That's not a good move in my opinion. I think I see what the idea is. If you ever try here, you can jam a knight there, but then you can actually, I believe you could play here, and then when the queen takes, you snap. Yeah, probably here, and then there's the idea, which would be an interesting idea. No, my bad, because the knight could take. So you'd probably want to take there. Huh? That is an interesting move. G6 really sets up for a huge. So C6 has to be played, and yeah, I'm thinking that potentially that might be a. Oh, you can't do that because smack. Yeah, that'd be mate. Yeah, that would not be a good idea. Taking would not be a good idea there. So taking with that's actually the best. Or potentially you could play here. That's an interesting idea. As crazy as it seems. This is a devastating attack, I believe. Oh. Oh, knight takes. Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. You're winning a pawn. Okay. I still think that if they had played there at that point, and he has to be careful. He might, rather than that, he might actually play here. And that threatens me. I actually think you played, I think you played the correct move in this scenario, actually. Let me see, then here. Then you'd have to, oh, you can't play there. Well, then you'd have to play here at that point. And then, wow. Yeah. Well, he's gonna have to play there. The computer's gonna have to play there. Then maybe potentially after takes here, maybe that's better. That might be a better idea. And then if that's maybe, I don't know. I don't think I like that. No, that's not good. Maybe. Oh, that's better. That's much better. Much better. Oh, you're still up a rook in that scenario. Yeah, you're still up a you're still up a rook. So you're still winning. That's a winning line. That's you got to be very careful on that line if you're playing black. Yeah. But you're still, even after this, there's that. There's here. This is an interesting move too as well. And if that's played, that's your intermezzo move, and smack. So you're up actually a rook and two pieces at that point. Wow. Yeah, you're right. That was the move you did play was better. This one here would have been better. So let's see. Oh, you want to do Queen F after here? You wanted to do after Knight C, then Queen F. Hold on, here, here, here. Okay, you were thinking that, but can't you just at that point just take? You could just take here, and then you're just up so much material. Smack. Knight C. You could just take, and then it's like it's just huge of an advantage that you get. Yeah, but in that line, you just totally. It's like wow. And look, you're up this. You're up this. You're up that many pieces at that point. Good find, yeah. Sometimes it's hard though in crunch times to actually get that down. So yeah. Oh, back here, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you play here, and then yeah, you get e7. Then after he takes here, you have e7, and e7 actually, you just win so much. Doesn't matter what you do. Yeah, actually, I guess the best he could play is no, even that loses. So any move he plays, you're just up so much material. You're up that much. You're up. Let's see, 5, 8. You're up 11 pawns. And let's see, actually 12 because you're even up a pawn as well. So 12 pawn advantage, which is basically crushing. So there takes, bishop takes, a8 or knight e8, which is a good move because you're eliminating the mating threat. And now that once that bishop goes, the chance of mate is over. And then b3. Could we have played anything besides? I don't know. Maybe b1 potentially might be an interesting idea. It does get it off the dark squares too. So if he tries something like this, you do have a potential ability of, and if he takes here, then you have a active rook. So maybe. The only reason b3 I'm just not sure of is it's just too it puts itself out there to be attacked. But it's not a bad move. Not a bad move. I just always remember what my teacher taught me is he told me that once a pawn is played, you can't move it back. So once it goes up, you can't move it back. So if you ever wanted to like somehow put a piece on here or go like this, it's going to be a little bit harder. But I know at this point it would be pointless to kind of play there, but you never know though. If you can get like doubled up rooks and stuff. But that's what he imbued that type of knowledge into me. So that's why I wanted to tell you guys that. Let's see here, G6, H4, pawn H4. Hey, I love it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Hey, you're doing Harry. You gotta love Harry. Send him up the board. Send the lone warrior Harry. Oh, nice. So you're trying to let's see here. I don't know. Would Harry have been a good move in this scenario? Let's see. You want to get rid of that? Okay. Yeah, you removed his key king defender, so you're up an exchange. Nice. So you're gonna double up. Just trying to see is there. Can we? Nope. I was trying to see if there any route we can get to this pawn, but I don't really see anything at the moment. Kind of like that move. He's gonna he's got really two spots that the queen can go to, and if they're I don't know, maybe maybe that's good at that point. That might be a good move. Taking scope there. And the rook potentially might try there. But then you have that, and it's like, that's smashing. And if, oops, alright. Gotta get rid of that. And if queen takes, pawn takes. I don't know, I like this. I prefer that. So you kind of gotta just figure what's he gonna play, and you just kind of take advantage of everything. This isn't a bad move. A7 isn't a bad move because your idea is to double up there. Or win a pawn. Either one's good. It's more positional. He's trying to get here and mate you. Or the computer is. Okay, now the computer is going to try to do some sort of crunch move there. Get a knight here and sacrifice it. Yeah, he can't take there because then you'd be up two rooks. So That was not a very good move there. On the computer's part. There's your mate. Smack. You gotta love these type of crushing move ideas, huh? Did you see this move here? Then if I think I know why he didn't play that with something like that. I understand. That's interesting for sure. Yeah, that doesn't work out too well for us now that I think about it. Ouch. Yeah. So this fork isn't fun. If only it wasn't for that pawn move. Yeah. That's a pain in the drain there. Wow. That's a pretty intense computer for sure. Yeah, so you did play in that scenario you did play the best move, so good job. I think that trades off better if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Because if he comes up here, we have checkmate. If he comes here, we have check. And if he comes up there, then I think, yeah, he's toast. The computer's toast at that point. And you're controlling this pawn. Yeah, that's toast, right? That's a toast combo. You just gotta look for. I've been doing tactics a lot on chess.com, and I'm starting to notice these kind of subtle nuance things. Like here, if he plays there, you can trade off your the queen, and if he plays there, then you can just kind of go after potentially something like this. If he tries there, you just snap off, and there's no hope for him, or the computer, I mean. You're still winning. You're still winning. There's no doubt about it. Oh, even nice. Let's see if we can do some more damage. Let's see. If he plays here, I don't think we have the same threat. Potentially, I guess we can win a pawn. I don't know. Just, those moves are just so fun. Yeah, once the computer gets into like a phase like that, they kind of just throw the game. I don't know why they do that. It's just like, really? You also have a, well, let me see here. You could just play there. You'd have to play check, and so then you'd have to come down here, and then he would come up like this, then you can mate him. But I like your mate better. It's not worth messing around with that. Just go for the knockout. That was a good game. Good game there. there are some sweet tactics that were readily available, so that was cool. No, so the computer plays positionally. But you always got to remember the principle that we talked about, which was the Aikido principle. Every move has a flaw in it. So rather than play like a, yeah, and so like when a computer moves, just take a look to see kind of what they're if they're attacking you. Okay, they're attacking you. But yeah, yeah. And so what you have to do is if they're attacking, you have to sometimes, like Maurice Ashley says, you kind of gotta put that off to the side for a little bit, see what the move left behind, and then deal with the threat. What that means is don't be foolish, of course, and ignore and then walk right into mate. But see kind of what this move did. So like back here, when she moved from here to here, it set up for this combo. So you just have to always look for was it a wasted move? Is it a move that is off to the side? What type of moves is it? But that was a really good game. Good game. That was a great game, Fox. And so now let's get into puzzle mode, and we will start crunching the puzzles and getting better for our tactical understanding. Let me see. What's this? Oh, this here? Yeah. But remember, yeah, this is from that prior game that we went over, right? Let's see, is this from that game? I'm going to take a look. Oh, I see. A new game. This is a different game. Okay, I gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. I'm just looking at some lines. Well, the computer's programmed for that central attack as their whole life existence. They understand the principles. You gotta be careful though when you leave a piece like that, because you never know what could happen. Perfect. That was a good move coming back. But she's trying for, she's going to win that pawn. Yeah. I don't know. I like actually placing my bishop here. I think I know why you just thought that, because that does the knight can actually come back with an attack on the bishop. Yeah, you're. Let's see here. Anything else that's dead? Let's see. Oh, so the computer's trying to win the. Oh no, we're gonna do tactics. We're doing tactics. We're just going over a game of foxes. Not yet. We're close to it though. We're close to reaching it. So don't worry. We're close to reaching 2,500. We're just going over a game, and if you guys have like games, if you have if you guys have any games you would like to put in to go over, then we can go over those too, because that's how you improve, is through game understanding. Takes. Yeah, so. Well, I don't. I gotta tell you that I wouldn't do that, because I enjoy getting on and just teaching. That's the whole thing. Yeah, I agree that there. Have you guys seen the documentary on Netflix? It's AlphaGo. You're exactly right, Fox. That and the computer also. I forgot which game it was. It was kind of like a Pong kind of game that the thing went back and forth, and eventually it found out how to actually get the max amount of points. I think it was like after 300 games of like this Pong game that they sent it through, it figured out that if it went in and used the top of the thing to actually use the ball to hit the things to get points, and actually could finish the game quicker. So I'm not surprised. It's incredible what the engines can do now. So, but that's a pretty interesting documentary on AlphaGo. It's actually how AlphaZero kind of got started. So yeah, here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's interesting for sure. Nice. You're trying to go for this pawn, which is good. This bishop's off track a little bit, so this rook's under fire. What did this move leave behind, though? There has to be some sort of loss of something. It's usually a tactic that arises somewhere. Sometimes you have to retreat back. That's just how it is. Okay, there. Yeah, my teacher told me that you have to get better in chess for a calculation. You want to have a game that's at least 10 minutes or above. It allows you to think better if you have a game that's 10 minutes are up. 5 minutes is more instinctual, he told me. So, and it teaches you also, you gotta be careful with the habits that you're not gonna, in a over the board tournament of like a 2 hour one, you're not gonna be able to flag an opponent. So that's why we're trying to go over games to improve. Wow, this computer is hitting hard. You gotta say that this is that's a lot of power that it's hitting with. Wow. Smack. Ouch. Yeah, that takes your bishop. Okay. Now, wait a second. You're up a whole. You're still up a piece, aren't? Are you? You're white, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So you must be white. Yeah. Okay. So you're still good. Your position's winning. Yeah, I see what you're saying. How they actually got the computers to be that level is the computers study chess games like grandmaster games, and then they look at the nuances in there, and then they can actually calculate pretty good. They're like they have nodes of lines, which is like lots. Okay, dokie. So and so this ended up becoming a draw. Oh, because of the fork. Snap. Well, I guess you could save the game with queen to d3 though. Right, but you can actually defend them with queen d3. Actually defends your knights. Then h5. Oh, h5. Okay. Let's see. What do we got here? Let's see. Okay, we take there. Queen takes. I think you're fine at that point. What does the computer say to... Hold on. I just got to turn on the engine. I just want to make sure I'm playing the right move. Just hold on, because it's sometimes better just to get the correct line. I believe that's right, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, yeah, I guess you're right, it is a draw. Yeah. Huh. Huh. So that's winning. Who'd have thunk? Who'd have thunk? I think at this point I'd trade off my queen. I know you can win a rook, but it's just like then you just get in behind here. So I don't know. I think that's that can't be played because of the pin. So the king would have to come up. Then you come there. Yeah, you're just totally winning there. Yeah, isn't that interesting? That's like huge. The good. That was a good game. We need to now. Now we gotta get into puzzles. Yes, 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 yes. You gotta do some puzzles. But that was a really good game, guys. So just keep your eye out for tactics. Like think about it. Knight F3 would have changed the whole scenario. It does a back here. I'll show you. This right here. This move here is a double attack. See? It's a double attack. Well, it's a tactic. It's just a tactic that you kind of get. I didn't even see it either. So, when we get improved, yeah, I agree with you. You're right. It's better to do without an engine. But remember though, if use it for one purpose. If you don't understand, yeah, during the game. But yeah, if you have to use the engine for one purpose. If you don't understand how to win the position, but you feel like there's a win there, but you kind of need a little bit of assistance. That's same thing with coaches. When you get a coach to teach you, it's like having an engine. So just remember though that you don't want to, like what you're saying, Chris, is you don't want to use it as a crutch. It's for one purpose, to figure out when you kind of don't know the best move. Like I didn't know the best move, and so I took it to where I felt like there was something, and then we turned on the engine and we found out that rather than this move, that move's better. So just remember, use the engine for its purpose. For when you kind of get to the point where you don't understand, then you can turn it on, but don't use it as a crutch. Otherwise, what happens? I watched the Simon Williams tape today. It was on, I think it was Knight H6 Sacrifice. He had a friend, two friends. They were in, I think it was Venice or somewhere in Europe. Really nice city, and they were sitting down at the table going over games, and one of his friends had an iPhone thing, and he was putting in the game moves that they were doing, and he was saying, "Oh, the computer says this, this, and this." They're like, don't rely on that. That's not what it's about. You have to be able to think creative, because you're not going to have the engine in the over the board game. You're going to actually have to think for yourself. So use it for helping analyzing process. And that's, I guess, I'll leave it with that. All right, let's see what we got here for our. So engines do have a place. So just remember that. Okay, dokie. Let's see. What did this move leave behind? You also can use the Aikido principle of drawback chess somewhat to find ideas. And some moves set up for certain moves. Some moves, though, some drawback moves are so subtle that it's a quiet move that you have to find. So don't be afraid if the move calls for a retreating move. Do it. If the position calls for it, if it wins something, do it. Alrighty. Let's see, F4. Wow. Yep. See that? See that, guys? We saw that. What was the one problem that when this bishop moved to G6, it allowed for an attack here. First of all, attack. And now we actually can win material, I believe, with takes. Let me see. And queen takes. Yeah. 2 points. If he plays back like this, you lose the bishop. So the best move for Black would have been to have retreated his bishop back. Yeah, the best move would have been for Black to at this point retreat back and kind of reconsolidate the position and just say, you know what, I made a mistake. It's better to kind of have one move going back than to have this happen and then have that dropped on you. Okay, bishop takes. You're saying bishop takes. What's the best move? Hold on. Probably knight d3. Yeah. Remember that if you don't have to sacrifice anything. Yeah, this does make sense. But remember that you're attacking, and so there's a way to kick the bishop out. And potentially this does attack, but I don't know if it does much. Let's see, if we played here, actually he's got that there, so not sure. And if he takes, and they could play this, and I think we're still okay. We're still up a whole piece, and at that point you probably would want a castle, and then the bishop potentially would come out maybe here. And then if castles, and something like that, I think. Yeah. And then if he takes here, you just move back and So the bishop would have to come back there, and then you just win a pawn. At that point, you probably just got to be very careful here. Yeah, wow. You got to be very careful that you don't walk into a mess. Probably something like that would be best. Then if rook comes, so yeah, something like that. That is an interesting. That's an interesting line for sure. And don't be afraid. Sometimes you have to give material back too. So don't always think you have to hold on to it. My teacher one time won a game by giving material back. So remember, it's about checkmate. That's the whole idea. Alrighty, ready, Roo. Let's see here. The queen is close to being trapped. We also have a potential fork. Let's see. What can he do though? Okay, I guess we could win a piece at that point, huh? Okay, if we played here, he's got queen there. Which rook though? Is it that rook? Yeah, because this looks very tempting, but the only problem is you get queen e4, and that's a pain in the drain. It's a good move. It's just too bad that we have queen e4. So c5 is good, queen e4, and we'd have to trade off. Yeah. Yeah. But wait a second. If we played there? Nope, can't do that. My bad, because the rook would take there. We might have that though, and that would attack here and there. So the move does have a let's see, E. Is that what you're talking about? Let's see if I'm right. I think it's this rook that slides over. Oh, what happens if that rook slides over? Oh, the bishop takes. Oh, snap. Snap, crackle, and pop, man. So it has to be that. Okay. Because then that doesn't do it. Okay. Snap, man alive. That changes the whole. Okay. Yikes. Now do you see why? That's just, you use the engines for that purpose. And then you learn, and then you go, then it makes sense, and so you can learn from it. Let's see here. Okay, let's see, what did this leave behind? So when it played that, it's attacking our knights. So, but remember, you have to somewhat remember that your knight's under attack. So don't move instantly, but just think, what did this move leave behind? What potential idea could you make around that this queen being gone from c2, and then come back and see if you can incorporate it with somehow maybe a protection, or maybe you have to sacrifice this knight to win. But then you can come back and bring all your ideas into one, like transformers, when they can transform into two different things. You know, sometimes they can transform, like Megatron used to be able to transform into something, and then he ended up becoming Galvatron, and then he transformed into something. So let's see here. And then you got Bumblebee, who can transform into a cool car, so go Bumblebee. So let's see here. So this left the protection of that bishop. So first and foremost, the bishop is doesn't have, instead of it having 3 protectors, it only has 2. So we can somehow make an idea around that. Also, the queen's kind of overextended into our position, so potentially we can make an idea around that it's kind of infiltrated a little too far in. But I'm kind of starting to like that if we played, let's see, around this, because there's only really there's like 3 defenders, but I don't think the king's one. Knight takes. But now we have to calculate what if queen takes at that point. See, exactly that move makes the most sense in the position. Do you see how that's great art? That was really good. That's a really good find there, because remember we took scope of the idea. The queen's overextended, and so if we play here, knight c4, that blocks the communication with the queen and the rook. And so if the rook takes, let's see, wait a second, if the rook takes, no, that's, no, drat. I thought the knight would have to take, but I guess the rook could take, yeah. Yeah. Drat. That looked so good. But there's a rook takes. Snap, that's not fun. So back to the drawing board, guys. Let's see here. So knight takes bishop. Queen takes. Knight takes. Oh, interesting. Knight takes rook, check. Queen takes rook, check. And then rook takes rook, check. But have we just equalized though? I think we can actually save the knight. Yeah. I kinda do like that now. Okay, I'll put the tactic up for you. I'll be right back. Alright, let's see what this move did. Okay. Okay. It's attacking our bishop, so a potential idea is ooh, nice. If we played here, and if he takes here, we have check there. Oh, drat. Well, if he does that, then we win the queen. So let's see here, there, check, up, and then that would be check, almost checkmate. Well, I guess that would be check. No, that wouldn't be checkmate. Ah, drat. It's so close. We forgot the most straightforward move. There's a check right there. So if we take here, that's an interesting idea. Because remember, when that rook... Well, remember, you always have to... We also have this. Keep that in mind too. We see there's a lot, guys. When this rook moved, it did one thing. It left the defense of this pawn. It left it when this rook moved. It left the defense of that pawn. So let's see if we let's just go down the line. H6. King goes to E8. And then we have bishop to G6, knight takes G6, queen takes G6, see if we take here, queen takes. I'm trying to figure out, because there has to be something that excuse me, that we're missing. The only problem with G3 is we lose this piece here. That's the only sitch. The idea for our opponent is to is to put pressure on our bishop, so we have to keep that in the forefront of our mind. With there, we actually could take at that point with the knight if we wanted to. Once we have here, but I believe he could intercept, and that kind of throws a well, no, then we can actually come over here with check, and if he tries to run, that's puzzling. Knight, check. Well, let's see here. There, knight b6. I think that's what you're referring to. Or there, but then the queen could take. Or the knight could take, so I don't know. I'm not sure if that's... No good reply to g3? Bishop g6. Huh. Why can't we just take the rook? Oh, nice. I see what you're saying. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that does make sense. I think you're right now. I see. Sorry about that. It took me a second. You were talking about a discovery attack. Yeah, I see what you're saying. You can play here and then there and you win the queen. I see that. Oh, wait a second. I think... Hey, no. You're right. He could actually take here. That's covered. Yeah, so what's the problem if we take? I don't think we take in this scenario. Let's see here. See, guys, we're down material, and there's a reason he sacrificed. There's a reason he sacrificed a rook. So we're not going. Remember, we're not going for material gain. Sometimes there's material gain, but our main idea is to KO our opponent. I think you're right with knight g6. Let's see, knight g6, knight takes, check, and if he comes here, we check. If he comes up here, we check. The rook intercepts. Snap. Or we could play maybe knight. That might be the knockout move. And I think that is the knockout move. Yeah, you're right. You guys are... No, we lose our knight. We don't have a knight in that scenario. It's not... We know it's not about material, so... Let's see. What can we do here? Let's see. White has 4 pieces and black has 5 pieces. We capture the rook and the game becomes a better endgame for black. Yeah, I see what you're saying. And I'm trying to take a look at what we're doing here. Let's see, I'm trying to make sense of the line. Let's see, knight takes, king takes, queen h5 check, king g8. We can't do f7, so because of here. So, there has to be something to do with this rook too. So remember, we have a rook, so yeah. Let's see. I see see, we have to ask ourselves, what did the rook give up? It gave up the h6 protection. So our idea has to be something based around that. Something based around here. This area here. Because when it moved, when this rook moved, it gave up the protection of h6. So I'm pretty, let's see here. I know, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to see, because sometimes you have to look to see, is there anything different besides, let's see, because he has to, like what you're saying, he has to move. Can we do anything? Can we do anything here? Let's see, if we, at that point, played knight takes rook, king takes, Well, if he does that, then we actually, if he does that, we have a pretty big time winning move at that point. So. Yeah, I think you're right, Economy. I think you're 100% right because I believe this pins, and there's no way really to prevent the loss of the rook. Wait a second. Do we want to take with... We have to take with the pawn because if we don't, he takes our bishop. So we're forced to take with the pawn there. Do you see how, guys, do you see how we used the drawback method? We saw what did the move give away? H6, and so we took advantage of that. Yeah, that was a boom. You gotta love it. Boom, baby. Okay, so now let's look to see what we got here. Okay. So the queen moved from here to there. Yeah, he took with the queen. So do you guys wanna go back for a second do you guys have any questions before we move on? Do you guys have any questions? Any move ideas you want to go over? Oh, queen. Well, the problem with the only stitch with that move, if we take here, he actually wins our bishop. And he's got enough. He has enough equality. Oh, you guys want to see? Okay, nice. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see why. Hold on. Let's take a look. So bishop G. Bishop G6. Okay. Knight takes. Okay, knight takes. Knight takes. And then up, and then I don't think we get anything. So what's the line you guys want to look at? Queen. Okay, queen takes h6. E. Oh, bishop G. Oh, I gotcha. I feel you now. I see what you're saying. And he guards the rook, and if we play like knight takes here, and he's up in exchange. He's we're up one pawn for the exchange. The knight would take, and then we would take, and let's see, what could we play here? I think at this point we'd have to kind of retreat out and somewhat try to hold. I don't know. Interesting though, huh guys? Do you have any other questions on this? Anything else, guys? Before we move on to our next puzzle. Exactly. Okay, so since there's no more questions, we'll move on to our next puzzle. Okay, let's take a look at. Okay, let's take a look at what this. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Okay, this. The queen once guarded that pawn, so let's just see. What did the queen do? It had the guardian of that, and also guarded that, So this queen guarded 3 pieces, or a pawn and 2 pieces. And by it moving, that's a potential. These 2 are potential targets. And its idea is to basically take advantage of this pin. Yeah, to win the rook. That's exactly right. After you, first of all, what we want to do is find out the drawback to the move. Then secondary, we see what the threat is, so that you kind of can then deal with it, and maybe you can put the plan, work your plan, maybe by some way we can deal with this. Okay, bishop takes knight. That is an interesting move for sure. Let's see. I see what you're saying, Nick, about taking the knight. That does do a lot for the position. And I agree with you, Chris, on the removing the knight too. So. Wow. Nice find, Economy. I like that. That makes most sense. Yeah, exactly. You know what? There it is. Remember, when we remove this knight, what's the drawback? See, it's kind of funny. You have to constantly. I know it sounds funny. It's like drawback, like what I'm saying. But when this knight's gone and this bishop gets replaced and it gets reloaded, as in Tactics from Scratch they say. It says, this knight was once guarding that square, but now that the knight's gone, it's X'd off the board, you can drop a knight in there, forking the bishop that's there right now. Exactly. So this, let's see, what's your line, Fox, and then we'll check to see. We'll see if we'll see if we are all on the same line. So here, and there, forking those 2 pieces. And then if the bishop comes back, we take the knight. I mean the rook. Queen f2 is a very happy move for sure. Yeah, first of all, we know that that's the starting line, and 100% right. That's the next. And then our next idea, now that that he did that move, let's see. We potentially could win a rook. So right at the start of the combo. And then if he takes here, we have a knight maneuver maybe. Or potentially we come in here, and if he takes so if we take here, he takes there, we come in like what you guys are saying. He takes here. Okay, we don't have enough. We're not in time enough. I was trying to find a way to checkmate there, but there really isn't. Huh. F3? You mean, we're black, so that would be F6 then. Let's see, where are we now? What lines have we... So now we have to decide if we want to take. So that's the next kind of sequence. And if we take here, if we take on F5, the rook could come to F5. A rook could take on F5. Okay. E3. Well, it does kind of take advantage of that, but the only problem is takes there. That's what I'm thinking too. I think we can actually take the rook. And if he takes here, Remember what the idea was, though, Fox? If we take here and he pushes, right? That was an excellent idea of G5. Let's see, so... So, you guys got to put in, what line are you guys thinking? You have to put in the line because you have a lot of good ideas. We gotta put them all together though, so that we can make a line that we want to go down. Well, if we go G5 right now, can't he do in passing? Let's see, let's try this line takes. See there. F takes. I'm just trying to see if we can't somehow get a. There's a reason. There's this move has a drawback to it, so we have to take a look at that. This, that, and then check, rook takes, queen takes, queens, and we go up. That's mate. No, it's not mate because we got rid of the bishop there. Yeah, that does have a lot of winning potential to it. But I think it's equal in that scenario. I think we'd have this for material at the end of everything. I think it'd be an equal game. He might be. Yeah, I think it would be an equal game in that scenario. If we went E3 is a good move. Queen E3, I like it. Let's see. What's your line? Let me see. There we go. And with that, guys, I got a log, but we're gonna go over this line real quick. we'll go over this here, and we'll take a look at everybody's line. Okay, so let's take a look at Chris's line, and then we'll do the other lines too. Okay. Oops, sorry. There. Okay, here takes there. And yeah, we'd have to take here. So I don't know. Good line though. That was an interesting line. So let's see. What was that? That was a good line. I liked how you took it out. You did. Hey, you know what? You know what? You did great. Don't. You know what? You calculated out. Let's see. Close to like 5 to 6 moves, which is huge. Good job. Okay. You know what? We're all learning. It's all about learning. Okay. Let's see the next. Does anybody have another line they want to look at while we're still while I'm still here? Does anybody else have a line? You could put in a line, and we'll go over it from here. I know you guys had some other lines you were thinking about after this pawn push. So just put it in the tab. I'll give you guys some time. There you go. Sorry, I don't know why that was. That was different. Okay, there you go. Now your line's in. I think we could even play here and kind of just give up. But, oh, that would not be good. We'd lose a piece there. Oh, knight takes rook and then queen. Okay. I think it was just winning. I think at this scenario it was winning just material at that point. And all we had to do was hold. Exactly. So, have I answered all your guys' questions? Oh, G6, okay. Oh, you wanted to check to see what would happen if G6. Gotcha, we'll give that a shot. Bishop takes. Okay, knight takes. Pawn takes. Yeah. We'll go through that. I'll go through that a little slower because I did what the computer did. Okay. Takes. Knight takes, because you kind of have to keep you have to give up lots of material to kind of keep the position going. And you can't take right away because, well, I guess you could. What would happen if you took here? Oh, it would go to 5 moves. So this is a faster checkmate. And there, and then you have to come down. If he comes up here, let me see if he comes up here. We just take, and it's mate and 2. Okay. And then there. Wow, that was do you guys, is everything good, guys? Are you good? Are we all good? Any other lines you were thinking of after this? Okay. Okay. Perfect. Well, guys, remember, keep studying chess. Keep studying chess. You guys are doing great. You know what? We're working through it. Thank you for you guys all putting in and working with us. Remember, this is all about improving and using the mind the Lord's given us to get better. So always remember, you're welcome to put in, to talk about the tactics. Okay, there's no wrong answer. We'll go through it and we'll find out the best tactic the computer wants. And remember, always learn from your mistakes. The hardest thing to do is to go back after a game you lose. So just remember, it's not a loss as long as you learn from it. And always remember, there's a plan in the position. There's always a drawback move. Remember that. And like Hannibal Smith, there's always a plan. We gotta find it. And so, guys, I'll leave you this. As Wesley So says, serve the Lord Jesus. And as I say, God bless, guys. And I'll see you next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Keep moving forward, guys. You're doing great. Okay? And I'll be back tomorrow. Be blessed. Have a great morning, or night, or evening. Okay, guys? I'll see you then. Bye-bye.